RH here. We had our 5-year homesteading anniversary on Thanksgiving 2016. So this video is about giving you a little bit about our story on the Homesteading Odyssey. Why did we leave our comfy place down in California to move up into the wilds of Washington? We previously resided in a comfy suburban home in Northern California. We were in close proximity to the river. There were green belts all over. It was a gorgeous little area. And we finally had it all fixed up after living there. We were there 8 years. Majority of our families lived in the area. Everything was set up and nice. We were involved with our church. And in fact, we did volunteer camera work and studio work for Amazing Facts. Loved it. Loved the people there. You know, we thought we'd live there forever. But apparently, God had other plans. So this is the story of that journey. Mrs. RH and I are here with our postage stamp backyard garden. It's not the same type of garden that we're interested in today. One that produces. And don't you think she did a marvelous job of keeping it up? It's so well manicured. And it really worked hard to hide the fact that we were so close to our neighbors. You can see over the fence there. I worked downtown in a high-rise office and overlooking the river down there. And I commute in with my bicycle. I had a fold-up bicycle I'd take with me, go down, get on the train, ride it down there, and then get on the train, take it with me. And then times I wasn't on a bicycle, I would take my motorcycle down. In California, you can still split lanes. Yeehaw. And we had our fun. Here we are on the motorcycle, and one of the Christmas cards that we sent out. Our favorite trips were up to the north coast of California, around Mendocino and Albion. Ooh, we just love that coastline. Great stuff. The water, the rain, the fog, we loved it. We purchased a little travel trailer. That's a whole nother story. The purchase of this and the pickup, oh, that's a whole story. Anyway, this allowed us to be able to stay a week at a time. And we could stay right next to the ocean. Very nice. Unfortunately, we only slipped in a few trips. But the coastline, I mean, look at that ocean. Isn't that gorgeous? And the trees, the windswept trees. It was just, oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. It's just gorgeous area. So what prompted the change? Mrs. RH and I are Christians and students of the Bible. It wasn't always so. In fact, I grew up as an atheist household. I was from a Jewish background. Her mother's a Holocaust survivor. We had come in to understand prophecy, especially Daniel and Revelation. Then came 9/11. Being an engineer, as soon as I saw it, I knew it didn't fall down because of the airplanes. It was just so obvious, like 88 columns. I'm sorry, steel doesn't break, it bends, it melts. You know, even if you damaged a couple of columns in it, you know, and that's why no steel building has ever fallen down. It was brought down. Go look at Architects and Engineers for 911 Truth. It's just as plain as the nose on my face when you look at it and understand all the things that had to happen to make that come down like that. And look at Building 7. People often don't talk about that, but there was Building 7 back there. And Building 7 was hardly any damage, and yet it was brought down as well. This false flag event was proof enough that the second beast of Revelations described in Revelations 13:11 through 16, that the second beast of Revelations was now speaking as a dragon. There's so much evidence there, it's amazing. I didn't realize before how close we were in time. These prophecies are becoming fulfilled. Ching, ching, ching. I mean, we are right on the toes of the statue in Daniel. I mean, we're just right at the very end before the rock made without hands comes down, before Jesus returns. Scriptures also made it plain that we should move out to the country and prepare for difficult times ahead. So we began to consider where to move and how. The videos from Walter Veith of Amazing Discoveries were an incredible godsend in helping us to get a sense of what was happening in the world and why and how. Especially his Total Onslaught series. It's actually the total onslaught against Jesus Christ. Amazing, amazing series. We really think this guy's the John the Baptist of our time. Amazing, and he usually uses their quotes. You can understand what's going on. Now he has a series called From Crete to Malta. Check out amazingdiscoveries.org or .tv. You can understand who and what is behind the push for the one world government and how they plan on doing it. It's happening before our very eyes. We're perhaps of the last generation. I'm not time setting. I know the time is close, though. It's the most eye-opening series we've ever seen. Well, now to get on with our homestead journey. We had to figure out where to go and how to make this transition into homesteading. After all, we're not youngsters anymore. Eh? Eh, Ma? Eh, Mrs. RH? We're not youngsters anymore. Yet, we started right away, right there to simplify, to assess our goals, and learn everything we could about homesteading and living in the country. Those of you who are interested, we had a 10-part series we finished up a few weeks ago about how to homestead. The 4 homestead decisions. The 4 homestead decisions. So, well, I'll have a link posted up here. So, grab a hold of that series. Start learning about homesteading and moving forward. Preparing. How did we prepare? There was getting the house ready to get on the market, which was falling like a stone. Not the house, the market was falling. There were also a situation, once we get into a homestead, there were things we were going to need. So I started the process of going through Craigslist, figuring out what items were desperately needed to build a homestead, like table saw, some other tools to build or revamp a homestead. But we quickly realized, too, that any homestead we were going to be able to get to was going to be far away from where we were right now, because we were in the middle of a city and there was no wilderness close by. So we were going to have to go a long ways away. So we knew we'd need to transition and live in something while we were finding a homestead and preparing that homestead. So on comes our trailer. We started preparing this little 21-foot trailer, getting it ready to be our, bug out vehicle, getting it ready that we could, launch off with this to go out and find our homestead. So there was work on the outside, work on the inside. I rigged it for boondocking. So I also had to take care of electronics inside of the vehicle, including the charging system, the inverter, get an inverter put into it, overload protection, different wiring to get the batteries in, putting in monitoring for it. So there was a number of things to bring all that up to scratch, as well as seal it up well for the weather. And ripped out there's a small bed area, and you just ripped that thing out and put in a desk area. And this desk area was just marvelous. So it allowed me to work from being within the trailer. And that was just primo, so we could be out there, I could still do my job, and while we searched for a homestead. Now I did say that I was organized. In fact, I even had laid out plans there for the shelves that we were going to use in the storage unit. Efficient shelving, and then figured out how to lay things out to actually go into the storage unit. You see, I worked out, measured every single piece of furniture we had, and figured out how it was going to fit in the storage room and how we'd have to stack it. And then came to the question of what kind of house to build. Initially, we were looking at building a house. So I'd been studying efficient ways of putting that house together. So see here's a couple of floor plans with the, kind of has an attached 2-car garage to it. Well, the house finally sold. Of course, they needed to move in right away. It was an ordeal. I had to go through all kinds of hoops to get this place pulled together. Thankfully, our friends and neighbors, our church friends, our neighbors helped us out getting these things pulled together. Coming and landing in Washington. Before the house sold, we'd been looking at places remotely, and we actually, one of them we had found was foreclosure that we came up and visited up in Oregon and put a bid on. And through some weird circumstances, it ended up falling through. Thankfully, I don't know, God jumped through some hoops there to make that deal fall through. It was pretty bizarre. Well, we came to Washington with our trailer. We found a clean and gorgeous trailer park next to a small river. Had a nice trail for walking. Well, you see, it's a beautiful place. Had a little river along the trail, and it's very picturesque, very beautiful. Oh, look at that. Just so nice. And our little 21-foot trailer just looks, in the SUV, looks just so comfortable there in that trailer park. Doesn't it? It's just nestled in there. Just looks so great. Well, we brought up our motorcycle, our bikes, as well as all the tools and supplies we needed to work on a homestead. And we put everything into storage unit. And we studied everything we could about homesteading and about me working on houses and buying real property, and, you know, studied everything we could. And things were all right. You know, we were able to rest, recuperate from the big move, and get ready for a homestead. And Mrs. RH was, I think she missed her calling as a realtor. She's just the greatest real estate agent. So she was searching property for us. And we spent 6 months there before we moved into our current homestead. So that's the subject of the next part of the story. RH here, signing off. Hasta la proyecto. And don't forget, push the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment. We want to hear your comments. We want to know where you're at in the journey. Are you on a homesteading journey? What interests you about homesteading? What do you want to learn about homesteading? Please comment. Let us know. RH. Hasta la proyecto.